All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Norm.
Hey, good morning, Carlos. How are you?
Good, good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Happy Tuesday, February 26th. Hope everyone is having a great morning. Hope you had a great start to the week yesterday. And let's see what the market has for us today. So pretty nice gappers list already on here. So see quite a few names that we traded before. Um, and then we'll see what those are doing. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's look at what the SPY is doing. I didn't even realize what the SPY did yesterday. I wasn't trading, looking at it, but I can see here we had a red day yesterday. So today we're kind of pretty flat at the moment. Hold on a second, let me get SPY up here. Yeah, so red day here, pretty flat right now as usual. We've been opening almost flat almost every morning, not really big moves at the open. But I can see here that we had a nice red day yesterday, and see today if we're going to bounce back or not. So let's see. But again, overall, it looks like we're somewhat on a bull market here, slowly but surely just grinding higher. So we'll see what today does. This could be just a regular pullback here, and today will determine a lot on what the next couple of days will bring. So let's get into our top plays and highlights from yesterday's. As usual, guys, the rundown, we go over the top plays and highlights of our watch list. Then we'll go into the pre-market watch list. We'll go over our gappers list right over here, and then we'll go over the top list to look at the Nasdaq active and Nasdaq gainers, and then we'll get into whatever stocks you guys are watching that can possibly be in play for today. Let's get our pen over here. Okay, good to go. All right, so let's look at our gappers list. Let's start with HT. Actually, no, let's look at our top plays. So let's go over to IQ, see how IQ traded yesterday. Again, I don't like trading IQ. It does trade weird sometimes, so I kind of stay away from it. But it sure was in play yesterday. Sold off real nice here, as you can see. Beautiful sell-off. Did give you a nice pullback. If you're waiting for an opening range breakdown on a 5-minute, gave you a beautiful pullback here. You did get a drop, but then it became extremely choppy after that. This is when you don't want to be caught in any of this choppiness, right? Let's get the 1-minute chart so we can see how that looks like on the 1-minute. Right over here. So again, just a beautiful pullback right to VWAP. This is a strategy that Brian likes to do as well. You know, stock comes up right to VWAP again. People covering, and then more people jumping in short. Gave you a nice drop from almost 28, 25 all the way down to 27. So that's a very nice drop there if you're able to get a good entry here, or even if you caught it before the 5-minute breakdown. Right over here could have been an excellent trade as well. Then from there, it looks like it's going to bounce. It doesn't really bounce. It just stays choppy for the rest of the mid-morning. Then you have a little squeeze here above VWAP in the mid-morning. So that was IQ. DHR again, just very choppy. Had a very strong start. Look at this pre-market action. Very strong here. Looked like it wanted to go higher. But at the open, just extremely choppy. I mean, I couldn't find an opening range on this one. It's just, again, extremely chop. It sells off, then sells back right back up, then sells off again. And usually when I see that, I just stay away from it because it's just not a good sign. You could take a few scalps on it, but that's not my style. So very difficult to take trades in a situation like this one here. GE was a great sell-off. I mean, but again, unexpected because it was so strong at the pre-market, and we saw this with tons of volume. Look how strong it was, and gapping up pretty nice yesterday. Then right at the open, you had a bit of a push here up to 1175, but then it's just sold off the entire morning. So again, didn't play that neither. And then from there, it just did typical GE stuff, just very choppy. Still with some volume, but again, just moving sideways after this sell-off here. KHC was a beautiful opening range breakdown. I know a lot of the guys in the chat room took this trade. Again, you had this huge pop over here, then it rejected this 35.38. You can see we have that level on here as well from the daily chart. It rejected that level, it sold off, and then from there it just lost VWAP, and it continued to sell off all the way down to this level 34.50. From there, then you got a little squeeze up to VWAP, not quite. You could have taken this for a possible reversal, taking some profits out here, and then it just dumps again, this time losing the 34.50. So if you're playing this for a short, rejection of VWAP, this could have been a great entry for a short, with your first target being 34.50, and then you get this nice little break here where it breaks 34.50 and it goes all the way down to 34.13. So, but again, KHC, Norm, I know you try to take a opening range breakup on this one, right? On KHC.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever trade KHC again. I mean, I had minimal losses on it. I just hate the way it trades. It was really terrible. It's Nasdaq stock, but it trades like NYSE stuff. It's I don't know. I don't quite understand why. I think Andrew tried it too, and didn't work out for him either. So
Yeah, it was definitely not clean. The price action and also the volume died down too. I didn't notice that until now. Actually, look at the volume, right? It has some volume here. Then
yeah,
it goes from 1.9 million to it just completely drop. So that's a big drop in volume there. This is a 1 minute chart, by the way, guys. So just tons of volume right at the open. Then it just loses it completely, and that's when you get that nasty price action. So next we have NIO. NIO again was in play. Another stock that I also don't like trading. I compare this to like an IQ. I had it on here because there was not really much else to watch. But again, not a fan of this stock. Huge drop here, and then just look at the choppiness. You know, this is a type of typical NIO trace like this. I try to stay away from it. It does put in somewhat of a double bottom, not clean at all. So don't feel bad if you're looking at this, saw it as a double bottom. If you didn't take it, that's okay. It trades very poorly. But this one here turned out to be really good, squeezed above VWAP and all the way up towards the high of the day. MDR was one that I saw, again, had a pretty big day. It lost that loss. It was down quite a bit. Had a sell-off here, popped back up. I was trying to take it for a short here, actually. I didn't get filled because it was on short selling restriction. And glad I didn't, actually, because then it turned out to be a good long. So if you look at my recap, you can see how I took this for a long towards $8. So a pretty nice trade, but again, at the open, it's just very difficult to take it either short or long. You had this engulfing pattern here, and then it's just does this chop for about an hour and a half. So it's just, again, it was a very tough morning. I think a lot of stocks were that we had on our watches were really not in play. I think they were just either just moving with the markets or whatever the case might be with some volume. But again, nothing really that was trading really nice at the open. At least for me, I couldn't find anything that was great. TTMP, again, strong pre-market. Strong pre-market. It looked like it wanted to go higher, but then at the open, it just sells off nasty here. Doesn't give you a chance to take it for a long. I know, I believe Brian took it here for long, was able to get a quick scalp out of it, and then he was stopped out for the rest when this candle dropped. But again, it never recovered. You had a little pullback over here, almost getting to VWAP, almost trying to hold these moving averages, but again, it didn't give you a good squeeze to take it for a long here. And then KNDI, I had this on here because I think it hit our scanners, but it really didn't do much. Look at this choppiness, all right? So it's just pure chop here. Again, not the best watch list yesterday, and that's okay. Not every day is going to be great. There's going to be some days where your best move will be, to hold off and not to trade. All right, so let's get into our gappers list. Let's see what we have today. I see some numbers that I like here, 12, 10, 10, that's good. And usually these are not great, but we'll get into these and see what do we have for this morning. So starting off with MNK. MNK is up 11.8. Not much volume, 106. Let's get our charts in line here. 1 minute chart. Let's get our 5 minute chart. Not a great pre-market action. Not much volume. So it is gapping up nice. I see the daily chart. Daily chart looks good too. It is a nicey stock, so again, we try to be careful with these type of stocks. Daily chart doesn't look great neither, though. It looks like this is a very choppy stock here. I can tell the pre-market doesn't look great. Go ahead.
It's a foreign stock, so usually we steer clear of those for the most part, just because of that choppy action.
Yeah, it makes pure sense. Again, you have a good move from here to here, right? It's trading nicely, and then it just starts getting really choppy. So you can tell just the pre-market action does not look great. This is like a 3 out of 10. You want to stay away from this. It has no volume neither. Only 106,000 shares traded. HTZ up 10%. 167,000 shares traded. Now, I think this is Hertz, right? Yeah, we trade this quite a bit, and it is a nicey stock, but this one tends to trade well when it's in play. We've been able to catch a few good moves on Hertz. Really strong the last couple of days. Look at this, gapping up here, and now another 11%. So I like the daily chart. It seems very strong over the last couple of days. It looks like we might have some levels here. We might be getting over this level that we have here. That was a big day for it. So another level over here as well we can find later on in our as we start finding levels for this. So right now it's looking good. Pre-market action is pretty flat at the moment. Again, it's gapping up nice. I like the daily chart at the moment, but pretty flat right now for the open. 170,000 shares traded. So let's hope that we get more volume on HTZ. Etsy is moving quite a bit here, 322,000 shares, so that's nice. Up 9.8. I don't like this daily chart. This is not a great daily chart. This is pure chop. Now, this stock over the last couple of days, the last 2 days, has been trading well. You can see it's been getting the volume and it's moving nicely. But this is not a great daily chart. See this chop here? So when you guys hear us talking about, hey, the daily chart doesn't look great, this is what we're talking about. This is pure chop here, not trading well, but it looks like the last couple of days has been in play. Today, the pre-market action actually looks okay. It looks decent. It looks like it's starting to put in some kind of range here. So let's see if the volume comes in right now. Now, it has the volume, 322, but it's not creating a good pre-market action, even with that much volume. You have one candle here.
Take a look at the close yesterday after you get finished on this piece.
Yep.
They reported earnings. Thing just shot around like 20% swings each direction. It was insanity.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was working on a project and I had it open to the side and oh my
now we're going to look at that right now. Oh my God. Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh no, this is crazy. So this is why this stock is, again, one of those stocks that I personally do not like trading. I don't like to, be in stocks that can move like this. This is just not normal, right? And then how do you manage your risk? So that's crazy at the close. Look at this, and then right back down and right back up. Who knows what is going to happen at the open? I'll look at it just to see, what it does, but I'm not going to be inclined to trade Etsy today. Again, look at this volume here. A lot of volume sitting in this one candle that's not doing much. So though you have 325, it's not really creating a nice price action. So again, not a fan of this stock, never have been. I just think it's very choppy. APHA is a POS stock, but out of all the POS stocks, this is the one that probably trades the worst, to be honest. It barely moves, very choppy. Look at some of these gaps over here. Is it the POS stock? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Look at how the daily chart is very choppy. It had a couple of days where it was trading well, but then everything was trading well during this time. Cron, CGC, Cron is the one I like to trade out of all of them. This one seems to be the worst one to trade. And it's also very hard to find shares for short on this stock. I don't know if you have that problem too, Norm, when you check this stock.
Right now with IB, there's 75,000 shares that are shortable, so not many at all. Those could easily go away right at the open.
Got it. Yeah. It's just one of those stocks where it's very difficult to find shares for short. Not easy to trade. And look at this pre-market action. This is not a great pre-market action. You have one candle here with most of the volume, 61,000 shares. So again, just not a fan of it. We'll keep it on here for now in case it does get better. But at the moment, does not look great. All right. Next we have Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. It is down 7.3. What's the news? Have anything going on with these guys? I'm sorry, down.
Elon's tweeting again, and the SEC wants him to be held in contempt of court for violating his agreement that they came about a few months ago.
Always fun. So down to, you would think this stock would even budge based on what this guy does, right? I mean, it should be just normal now going forward. But here's Tesla. Down 2.5, 225,000 shares traded. We do have some pretty good levels here. It looks like we're losing it. Let's see if we can get down to this 280. A little bit higher price stock, not my niche. Pre-market right now doesn't look great, but this drop here could create a good pre-market open action in the mid. If not at the open, mid-morning, this can create some good moves. Also, keep in mind with news like that, sometimes these stocks, they overreact. And don't be short biased. This might be a situation where it starts gaining and recovering this gap here and getting back to its normal trading range. So do not be short biased just in the news. See what the price action is going to give us on this today before you go long or short. Let's look at HD on here, down 3.3. That's quite a bit. I like the daily chart here. Losing it, but it looks like it wants to hold this level we have from before, 182.82. See what the pre-market is doing. Pre-market action is looking great here. You have a range. It's kind of going up, but losing it back down. Price is being rejected up here. And right now holding this 183.41. Let's see if it can hold that, bounce from there or drop down. So I like the pre-market action out of all of these so far on JD. I think that looks good. Down quite a bit. Again, down 3.4 on a stock that's trading 190. That's quite a bit. That's a big drop. So I look forward to see what HD is going to do for us today. Now we have CATs popping up here. CAT. I think we traded this in the past too, several times. Yeah, we have. I got some levels here as well. Again, this is a stock also that you got to be very careful with. Look at how choppy it is. Look at this daily chart. Just not clean, guys, right? And usually stocks that are like this don't trade very well. You have some days where it's, when you get the volume, it trades good. You have this gapping here, some really big days, and lost a lot here. But again, it's very unpredictable. At the moment, pre-market action is really flat. No volume, only 110,000 shares traded. So again, not looking great at the moment for CAT, but is gapping down quite a bit. So it could be in play today, depending how the open continues. So that's it on our gappers list. Again, we'll go through this one more time and eliminate some of the ones that don't look great, like MNK. I don't like that stock. It's a foreign stock, as Norm was mentioning. So we might get rid of that one. All right, guys, let's look at our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers right over here on our top list. And let's see what we can find. If we can find anything that looks like it's in play today. HTBX, 1.4 million shares. Horrible pre-market action. Seems like it's losing it. It is up 18.5, so that's nice. If it can find a base, it can be a good play for a long. HTBX. All right, so there's a 22 million shares floor on the lower side, and it's under $5 as well. So you have to be extremely careful on this stock. We'll put it down here. We'll find some levels for it. I personally might not watch it, but we will find some levels for that. ZYNE actually has a better pre-market action. Looks like it's holding here. Nice volume, 645,000 shares traded. Even lower float though. This is a 13.49 on the float, so we'll throw it on here also. I do like the pre-market action though. See the difference? This one looks like it's all over the place, very choppy and losing it. This one here, maybe because it's a higher price stock, right? Although it's a lower float, it has a better pre-market action. You have a range here, it's dropping. Now it seems to be holding this 575 here, and hopefully can get some volume and put in towards a new high here. Give us a good fallen angel opportunity on this stock. Ever is up 15%, but no volume. CLNE, no volume here. GSM, no volume, nothing going on. ETI we have already. OPHT is no volume at the moment. OASM, nothing happening. CODX has some volume, but not a great pre-market action. 356,000 shares traded. It is 9.9. It is up 9.9. But again, I don't think it has a good pre-market action, so I'm going to skip this one. What's the float on this? Is the flow any better than what we have so far? Yeah, really low flow, guys, 6.45. Again, does not mean that this cannot be a great play if you trade this type of stocks, but I'm going to stay away from this one. AVCO is not much going on, no volume. Let's start up here. HTBX we have already. Eric seems to be on this watch list almost every day. Not a good pre-market action. Has the volume 764, but you can see here it's not creating any type of action. So you got some block trades too. Look at this one here. If you're seeing this for the first time, I was at 265,000 shares traded. You can tell it's a block trade because there's no movement to the price section. It's just completely flat. So you want to stay away from stocks that are trading like that. ZYNE we have. NVCN, nothing happening here. ETI we have. CODX we looked at already. ETF, another ETF. AMD, let's see what AMD is doing. Again, pretty flat. Always has the volume, 301,000 shares traded, but does not have a really good pre-market action. It did trade well yesterday though. It did trade really well yesterday. Not sure if it's going to put in that same type of trading today, but it was a really great trade yesterday. What else we have? Let's look at the last one here, CIFS. So CIFS has some volume, losing it here. Not a great pre-market action. And really low flow. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this one as well. So that is a great question. What are your requirements for your pre-market action? So definitely take a look at class, I believe it's class 2. It is on YouTube. I'm going to see if we can send the link over on the chat room now. Definitely take a look at class 2. It is online. You can see what we're looking for. Andrew has recorded that class and made it available for everyone. So take a look at that so you can see what the type of action we're looking for, what we're looking for in the daily chart. He goes into a lot of details of what the criteria are we wanna trade. Anything else you guys have on your end that I don't already have on here or that I have not mentioned? Norm, anything you see interesting?
Yeah, take a look at Macy's M and GE from yesterday, but I think you already looked at GE maybe.
Yeah, we mentioned GE on our top plays and highlights yesterday, but today, let's see what it's doing. Up 3.8. It sold off everything yesterday. Look at that. So I'm up a bit here, 3.8. Again, GE, it has the volume, 1.6 million shares. Good pre-market action for GE, right? GE, these are big moves for GE because this is a stock that gets the volume and barely moves. So yeah, this could be in play. Had a big day yesterday. It could be in play today again. It's kind of like those stocks like, for example, Unit. Unit is not doing much today, but Unit had an amazing day yesterday, right? Yesterday, it traded nicely. I know some people took it here for a long. And look at how this traded, right? So really nice here. No volume today, but this is a stock that can do something. Also, MDR. MDR had a huge day yesterday. No volume right now. So these stocks could be in play today as well if they had a big day the day before. But I would like to wait for this stock to hit my gappers scanners. I'm not gappers, sorry, turbo break up and turbo breakdown scanners, and then I'll pop into them. But at the open, I want to watch something that already has some volume in the pre-market. So again, GE, yeah, 1.6 for GE is not a lot really. I mean, this stock trades 120 million shares a day. So again, it's just very, very high volume. Look, if you look on here, 300 was this 300 and almost 300 million on this day here, but normally it's trading at 170, 150. So let's see. It could be exciting for a mid-morning play, but I'm not gonna watch it at the open. All right, what else we have? You mentioned another one. What was the one you mentioned?
Macy's. Macy's. It was on the scanner earlier. It was up 2%. It's given all that back. Now it's only down 0.5%. So, but it's got a nice smooth chart going down.
It does. It really does. Yeah, no, Macy's looks good, although it's pretty flat right now. Has a lot of volume, 2.8. And look at this chart. It's kind of slow, like you mentioned, it's slowly losing it here. So, yeah, I do like Macy's. Any news on it? Why is it?
Earnings came out this morning.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely like Macy's. I like the way Macy's trade. Those are nicey stock. It can put in some good trades. A few times we have traded it, so I'll keep Macy's on here. Next we have FTNW. Let's look at that. Wow, this looks nice. Why is this not in our scanners over here? Oh, it's a Amex. Yeah, I don't trade American Exchange. You can see right here there's a different exchange. I don't trade these stocks. Nothing wrong with them. They just trade different. So again, I just try to stick with the stuff that I can kind of somewhat have experience on. But this definitely looks in play, has volume. So yeah, if you want to trade the stock, this could be one that you could look at. All right. Is it a low flow, guys? I'm not sure. Let's check. FTN. It looks like a low flow. Yeah, it is a low flow, 9.36. ENPH. Let's look at that. We'll look at a few more. ENPH. All right, I see here there's no volume at the moment. This opening up pretty flat. Had a couple of good days the last 3 days here and ending last week. But again, just right now at the open, not looking great. Could be a good one to watch for a possible mid-morning play if it continues on ripping up like that on the daily chart. STMP, yeah, this is another one kind of reminds me of like a unit or a MDR where they had really big days. I mean, looking at the daily chart, let's get rid of all these levels. Looking at the daily chart, this is kind of setting up to try to close this gap here, right? At the moment, has no great volume. So not something I'll watch at the open, but if it hits our turbo breakdown and turbo breakup scanners, it's something that we can definitely move into and focus in on. Chris, yeah, MDR is I think right now it's pretty flat. Yeah, it's pretty flat right now. Had a great day yesterday. Here had a beautiful pop all the way up to 817. So today it looks like it wants to keep going, but right now the volume is not there. So I'm not gonna watch it. But again, it has a beautiful daily chart. If this can continue to go up, it can close this gap. So this is a stock you might want to, keep on your on your side list, and then see later on in the mid-morning or, you know, mid-afternoon or lunchtime, if it starts picking a direction, it could be a beautiful trend trade.
You had an awesome trade on that yesterday. Great recap if
Thank
people
you.
haven't seen it.
Thank you. Oh, let's not forget about the Nvidia one though. Nvidia, man, your trade on this was incredible. So again, just Nvidia's trading really nicely. You caught a perfect short here. So make sure, guys, you're checking out the recaps. Again, so much you can learn from them. So make sure you're taking out time to receive the members recap that they're posting. All right, let's do one more W, and then spot, two more, and then we'll start making this list a little smaller. So W right now. So the issue with W is that the volume is not there. How does the daily chart look? Wow, it's been having a really strong couple of days lately. So yeah, it could be in play today, but right now for the open, it doesn't seem like it has the volume. But it could be one of those stocks that, again, just like an MDR, just like a unit, just like a Nvidia, you know, they're not in play right now, but they could put in a beautiful trend trade later in the mid-morning. And then the other one I was going to check was spot. Let's check spot. So spot right now, yes, no volume. How's the daily chart look? Daily chart looks good. It's losing in 2.2 here. So this is a good daily chart. It might be dropping here. A little higher price tag, 146. So yeah, so this could be in play mid-morning. But again, as we mentioned at the open, based on the criteria you're trying to requirements you're trying to find here, it's just stuff with volume. But again, this is one that you can keep on your side list. All right, guys, so let's make this list a little smaller. We're coming up on 9 o'clock, 8:56 a.m. Eastern time here. Let's go through this and find some levels and see what's trading well. So MNK, again, I'm not going to watch this one. Really hasn't done much, no volume. I mean, it seems like since we left it earlier, it's in the exact same position, nothing happening. So I'm going to drop that one. Also, that one didn't have a great daily chart. Hertz, now Hertz, this is one that has a horrible pre-market action. This is not great at all. The only reason why I'm going to keep Hertz is because based on experience, it has traded well when it picks a direction and it gets the volume. So it is gapping up pretty nice today, 10.9. I like that it's gapping up that much. Daily chart doesn't look, actually no, daily chart, take that back. Daily chart does look great here. You have some gapping days here where it doesn't do much. They kind of closes flat, right? You have some ranges it build up, but then it kind of closed flat here, actually closed right on the dot. And then here it didn't do much when it closed and opened, but you did have some ranges here based on these wicks. So I'm going to watch Hertz just because of that. Let's find some levels. Let's get rid of these.
And we talk about it all the time, but something you have to note is stocks that trade on the NYSE, which Hertz does, a lot of times have zero volume before they open and trade great once the market's open. So
yeah, that is a great point. Yeah, glad you mentioned that because we see that often, all the time. So higher pre-market, guys, 2180, lower pre-market, 2123 is kind of bouncing off this exact date on here. We had a nice spike over here. Let's see what's the next level above this if we decide to go higher. So we have a peak over here at what's this, 2239, so we can mark that. Anything above that, just in case we decide to go for a run. 2239 seems like to be the peak. Yeah, very close to all-time high, looks like it. Am I right here? Oh, no. Going back, you see there's some other places over here where we have peaked higher. So I'm going to mark down this one, 2487, just in case we really go for a run here. I don't think we'll get up there. I think 2239 is going to be a big resistance level as we have several days, at least for that's the highest of the 52-week high. Seems like that's going to be a big resistance to break. Towards the downside, you got the previous day close. You can also mark this date over here. You got this nice little drop, 2080. And then below that, you can stick to this high of yesterday, which is at 20. You keep that bar already on there. So some good levels here. Again, not a great pre-market action, but I'm hoping that we can get some volume at the open and get a nice trade position here. Etsy, again, I don't like this stock. We're going to find some levels. I know there's a lot of people that do like to trade this one. So we'll find some levels for you, but that's one that I really don't like to trade, just the way it moves. So higher pre-market 65.75, lower pre-market 63. Below this, do we have anything in between this high? So the next one right now will be this high over here at 60, which is also the high of yesterday, right at 60, right? Previous day close of 59, $1 away from that high, which you have here. And I think that is, let's make sure, it must be all-time high.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, so that becomes a little more interesting. I do like stocks that are sitting at the all-time high or the all-time low. They tend to, if they break through, they're going to run, or if not, they can bounce back very aggressively. So I'll keep it on here. I might watch it just because of that. I think that makes this stock a little more interesting. So again, we got some levels already. 65.79 is the highest you have. Below that 63, and then below that you have around 60.50. APHA, not putting in a really good pre-market action. Again, very choppy, guys. Look at this here. I do not have shares for sure on my end, so I am not going to watch this one. But if you do have shares for sure, you want to watch this one. Plenty of levels. 1030. You have this one up here. High of day 2 days ago. 1094. Below they got the previous day close, previous day low twice over here around the same area, so that's nice. And then you have a moving average coming in at 925 as well. You can mark that also. I'm going to remove it from my list. Tesla. I'm not sure about Tesla. What do you think, Norm, on Tesla?
I refuse to trade Tesla. I'm sure you know the story. And I was in a trade short, pretty decent size, and I closed it out for a nice profit. And about 3 minutes later is when Elon Musk tweeted funding secured. And I've got a picture of the chart, and it's the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Oh man, we need to on Throwback Thursday. We need to put that up. We need to remind ourselves. So low of the pre-market for Tesla is 287.46. I'll mark that down. Below that you have 279.43. It's another great level. Then towards the top you got plenty of levels here. This thing might be trying to close the gap here. Again, it's down on some news. But again, I don't think that news is strong enough. I think people might be overreacting. But again, just don't be short biased. Look at the price action. So you can see here previous day lows here, previous day high here, previous day close, and then also previous day highs here also being noted. So plenty of levels here. I'm not going to watch Tesla myself, but again, if you do trade anything within that price range, that could be a good stock to trade today. HD is flat pre-market action. Again, lost 3.2 here. It's been holding this level. I'm going to move actually this level up here, this 82.82. I'm going to move it up to 83.40, which is a low pre-market at the moment. So we'll put that on there. It seems to be holding that. So it likes that level. Very close to these days consolidating there. Below that you can mark 180, so that's a good level to mark. And then we have all the way down here 175. I like when days consolidate between two levels, right? It makes them both good support and resistance here. And then way down here 171.45. Towards the top you have this peak over here 186.78. You can mark that. A little higher. There you go, 187.04. And then you have the previous day close and tons of previous day highs and lows listed between 194 and 190 here. Plenty of levels. So we'll see. We'll keep this on here. It seems to be holding this level. Could want to go make a red to green move. Could be interesting. Let's see how high it goes from there. This thing is down on earnings, you mentioned, right, Norm? I think it was Home Depot.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So CAT, really horrible pre-market action. No volume. It's pretty flat. I mean, it's down 3.8, so I like that. But I don't like the pre-market action. I do not like the daily chart. It seems very choppy. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this one. I don't think it's one that I want to be involved with today. So I'm gonna remove this one from my watch list. Macy's looks really good. I mean, it continues to lose it. Did a green to red move. A green to red move means that, again, it was up, it started up, so here's green, and now it's below previous day close, so now it's red, and now you got your percentages here heading down, right? So I really like Macy's. I think it's putting in a nice little pre-market action over here. Let's remove these levels. Low of the pre-market 23.44. Got a really wide pre-market here, 23.44. High of the pre-market 25.70. Anything below that 23.48? Yeah, we do have some stuff back here. Let's get a next level below 23. All right, here we go. See what we have. Yeah, we have a date right over here going back February 2018, 22.52. So let's mark that on there. I think that's a great level. Then towards the top, let's see what we have towards the top. So again, big range here, 25.68, low 23.48. Above that, you have this date over here. 26.48 right over here. And then from there, it really can try to close this gap, but I doubt it'll move that high. Macy's doesn't move much unless it gets some serious volume or news. Next level to close the gap, 27.74. All right, so I like Macy's. I like the pre-market action right now. Has some very nice volume, and it's trying to maybe go back green here, so we'll keep an eye on it. HTBX, see what HTBX is doing. I don't like this pre-market action, guys. Again, tons of volume, 1.5. But the pre-market action is just very choppy. We'll find some. I'm gonna remove it. We'll find some levels. If it hits our turbo breakdown or turbo breakup or high of day bull flag, we can zoom into it. We'll have some levels set up. So we have 186 high of pre-market. Above that, we have a nice little peak over here at 212, 211. Also, this one right over here at $2. Obviously, $2 is gonna be a a significant resistance there, 195. And just in case we get a little higher, we can mark this one all the way up here at 224. So towards the bottom, I also like to mark this one here. And the reason for that, 178, you got a moving average coming in as well. So that could play a part in it. And then towards the bottom, you really have this level over here, which is very close to the previous day low. So I'm just going to mark the previous day low at 153. I'm not going to watch this one, but we have some levels in case it does pop up into our trade idea scanners. ZYNE actually has a better pre-market action, not as much volume, but it's popping up here, selling off, and then it's kind of holding this level. So that's what you want to see, right? It hold the level and hopefully put in a good fallen angel strategy. It is a higher price stock, $5. I like to trade anything above $5. Below $5, I'm a little skeptical. 640.41 is a high of the pre-market right now. As you can see, that's a very strong level, bouncing from here and here as well. So let's see if we can get back up there and break that. And then above that, we have another level over here at 688. We'll mark one more up here at 776. And then towards the bottom, you have this day here, these 2 days actually, this one and this one, 554. In case it wants to sell off a little more and then take off. So that's all I have, guys. Again, not a great watch. There's not a lot on here. It could be one of those days where we sit on our hands for a little bit and we wait to see what our scanners give us. Wow, HTC. Yeah, this is why I like HTC. It trades well. Norm was mentioning earlier, again, no volume, but sometimes these nicey stock, this is how they start. So yeah, definitely like the way that's moving right now. Yeah, this could be nice today.
Yeah.
So Etsy, guys, I was gonna take off Etsy. I'm gonna keep it on here because again, it's at an all-time high. So that's always interesting to see how stocks react at the all-time high or the all-time low. I think you can put in something really nice. SMLP. Someone mentioned this one in the chat room. Starting to get some kind of momentum going here. No volume yet, but it can get looks like starting to get a little active now. Down 14%. It is a nice stock. I do not like this daily chart, guys. This is very choppy here. Again, very choppy. So I'm going to stay away from this one today. So TVIX.
Carlos, another one. Go ahead on TVIX first, and then I'll.
Yeah, so TVIX, again, guys, it's just this trades opposite of the market. So I really do not trade this one. Again, it's just you can have it on your watch list, but you really got to depend on what the market's doing. And be careful because this thing does move on you. It's very volatile. So you got to be able to manage your risk properly on TVIX. Go ahead, Norm.
Oh, I was just going to say, I wanted to add, I've got Roku on watch. It's just been the last couple of days have been trading great. I'm kind of biased a little bit to the short side, but I'm not going to let that interfere. It doesn't have the volume yet, but it very well could at the open. So. Yeah,
no, I'm with you. You know what? I got space. I am gonna watch Roku too because the few last days has been trading unbelievable, and it might be selling some off here. You're right. Looking at this daily chart, I am a little short biased myself too. But yeah, Roku's one stock that really has been trading really well. Tons of volume. Look at the volume down here, guys, for the last several days. Really good. And look at this move. I mean, wow, 55 to almost 60, 55 to 65. That's a $10 move there. Just incredible.
Yep. Watch your risk on it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Be very careful. This thing can move on you. Can drop 30 cents in a matter of seconds. Not a stock you want to play around with a huge size on here. All right, guys, so this is what I have so far. Norm, anything else besides Roku that you're watching today? Are you still watching EA and the gaming stocks?
Yeah, I've got my eye on EA. I mean, there's not much action right now, but I anticipate they'll be in play here and there. So if I'm not seeing anything else that's working out, like EA this morning's only traded 1,500 shares, so it's nothing interesting. But yeah, that could change. They've got the new game out that's supposed to be the Fortnite killer. So
Yeah.
if news comes out on that, it could change it.
It definitely is getting a lot of momentum, that game. So that's good. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing?
I'm good. How's everyone this morning?
Good. Good morning, Brian. I'm gonna hop off. Let Brian take my spot with you. So everybody trade safe. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Norm.
Thanks, Norm. Hey, so got a lot of red up on the screen today.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cat got a double downgrade. Apparently, it's interesting.
Yeah, I had Cat on here. Let me bring it back up. I took it off. Why did I take it off?
Home Depot came out with some disappointing sales. Etsy's up on good earnings.
Yeah.
So, and Hertz was up on a surprise. They lost less money than everybody thought they would. So, I guess that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Everything else kind of looks, well, it's MU, kind of our favorites. MU's kind of chopping along right now. What have we got for low floats? Anything you looked at that looks interesting?
The two right now that have the volume really is HTBX, which again the price action is really all over the place right now, but it has 1.6 million shares traded. Yeah. Then ZYNE also has quite a bit of nice volume. Yeah. Pre-market action looks a lot better than HTBX, so we'll have to see at the open how these get better, because right now it's not looking too great.
Sign was one I know I've played before. HTBX I don't think I haven't seen that one. What else we got going? CODX is one I think they've looked at before.
CODX, yeah, right over here. Yeah, not a great pre-market action right now, but does have a bit of a volume, 373,000 shares, but not great pre-market action. Someone
the other one that's
Joseph
FTMW.
FTMW, hold on, FT. FTM and NW.
And like Norm.
Yep. Yeah, so this American Exchange, but yeah, it has a great pre-market action. Nice. I mean, great volume, 1.3. So this was trading nice. Someone in the chat room mentioned, Joseph mentioned GE. So the reason I took GE off, guys, I think it's just, again, it doesn't move much. It has a lot of volume, but that's normal for GE to have 3.0 million shares traded in the pre-market. I mean, this stock usually trades average around 100 million plus shares a day. So that's normal. Had a big day yesterday. Today, pre-market action is all right. I'm just not sure if you're going to get a big move like you did yesterday. So I'll look for that one on my scanner, see if it pops up.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a lot of stocks that we potentially can watch here, so.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Hopefully we have a better open than we did yesterday. Yesterday seemed to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I had a really hard time finding anything at the open.
Yeah. I had actually a pretty good day yesterday. It's just a matter of which stocks you focus on. So
yeah.
Baba's down a bit. Baba's down $4. Interesting. So I guess some news came out about the China trade deal, and people, it was almost a sell the news event.
Oh, okay.
So, it's interesting. Well, certainly, I mean, the market did end up positive on the day, but we were well off the highs, which is, you know, it wasn't a great daily candle. Let's just say that, and we're certainly up, you know, on a couple of the indexes. You know, we're up over above the 200-day moving average, but we are getting into some areas of resistance on a lot of the indexes. So I suspect things are going to kind of maybe we'll at least do some consolidation here. We'll see how the day goes.
Yeah, let's definitely see how that happens today.
Yep.
So what else? FND's popping up here in our gappers. Let's see what that looks like. FND. No, not a good pre-market action. Another one here, MEDP, down 17%. Let's check that out. Oh, this is starting to move. Check out MEDP.
MEDP, wow, it's down a lot, isn't it? I do have shares for short.
Yeah, this is.
Is that just? Is that an earnings?
I'm gonna check right now. Actually, let's see what's going on. MEDP. Yeah, looks like earnings.
MEDP. Is it an earnings?
Yep, it's earnings. Yep.
Okay.
So that's starting to look interesting. Starting to get some volume here. Not a great pre-market action yet, but hopefully the volume can continue to come in and continue to create a good pre-market. So yeah, I think I'll watch this one too.
Yeah. Undoubtedly, it's going to be on short selling restriction fairly quickly at the open, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got to look at? AP. It's going on with the pot stocks. Pot stocks are pretty much flat, except for Krone is down a bit, but APHA is up.
Yeah, I saw APHA. I didn't like the price action right now, and I don't have shits for short with my broker, so I'm gonna stay away from it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not up a lot anyway.
Yeah. Looking at Kron, I think someone also mentioned Kron earlier today. Again, it's at this level where it's somewhat been holding this 19 bucks, right?
Yeah.
It came down here, tested it, it's at it again. Again, has some volume, down 1.5 right now. It could be putting in for a bounce, but I know if it breaks that 19, you know, it can definitely sell off. But not something I'm going to watch right now. Maybe something that could be good at the mid-morning or watch for our scanners.
Yeah. All right. Well, have you posted your watch list yet?
Not yet, but this is what I have so far. I don't see anything better, so I'm gonna post this list right over here. All right, guys, we're coming up at 9:20 Eastern time. Thank you guys for YouTube for joining us. I'm gonna post my watch list here in the chat room, and also I'll post Brian's once he does his. I'll post his watch list as well. Andrew is not going to be trading today, guys. Andrew is really sick, so he did send the group a message that he's gonna stay in bed today. Again, he tried to trade yesterday. He did pretty well, but again, he's just really under the weather. So we need him just to take a rest and get better. So thank you guys for YouTube on joining us, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See you tomorrow again at 8:30 Eastern time.